Constantly shifting through the time-space continuum, Metron's three disciples observe the universe from the Mobius Couch.
Rah, rah, Roma, ma, gaga, ooh, la la, want your bad, Mobius Couch. A time-space interdimensional vehicle from which your three hosts survey the world of professional quality industrial grade restaurant kitchenware. Today, we're going to be talking about the 12-inch saute pan, a classic staple of any kitchen.
Okay. Yeah.
And right, aren't we? This is what we talk about. We talked about chef's knives last week.
So I bought an array of different versions of that pan recently. So I have I test them all out. So we have a large pulling of
we have a panoply of pans. But before, wait a minute. I'm seeing there's
what is it?
Weird readings on the couch. Well, there's weird readings on the Mobius couch. Let me toggle this. Boop, 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 boop. The Mobius Couch, where we talk about comic books. Comics. Hey, everybody. The Mobius Couch, of course, we talk about comic books, comic book movies, manga, all of that good stuff. Before we talk about what we're going to talk about today, let's introduce your three hosts on the Mobius Couch. I'm Alessandro, and joining me as usual are Patrick.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
Hey, Pat.
Hey,
and Joe.
Oh, hey, Al.
Hey,
Patrick.
Joe.
Hi. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
What's up?
Today
how
we're
you
talking
doing?
about... Oh, good.
All right.
Good. And I'm ready to talk about the Birdking.
The Birdking.
The Birdking. I shouldn't pause when it's quiet, right? We're just going to talk over
You
it.
shouldn't.
No, yeah,
The transition.
It's a silent transition now.
Because I
So,
can't,
you
edit it, 'cause I can't edit it because the people on YouTube, I can't edit it because on YouTube they can't see it, and then but on the audio.
So
it
you
sounds
just
crazy.
keep
They sound
talking.
like crazy people.
No, everybody understands we're not crazy.
Yeah.
And that something happened
It's
on
crazy.
screen.
Mm,
They'll get
Listen,
it.
for
normal.
people that
They'll
are
get it.
just listening to this, you're missing out because half the podcast is all the beautiful pictures that I spend so much time putting together.
And either way, listening or watching,
Sure.
we're not crazy, okay? Just stop it with these rumors.
100%
We're
not.
crazy because we're not.
Also, if you're not watching us and you're just listening to us, you're missing out on three handsome faces. just
Well, now, okay, I wouldn't. That's a check. Maybe we're
Patty,
not going to cash.
looking good, Patty.
I know. Okay,
I just
well,
gotta hear
Patrick's
that.
handsome. Okay, we're not here to talk about our physical appearance. We're here to talk about Birdking.
Yes.
Birdking is a Dark Horse comic. I know we usually do mainstream stuff, but we're doing a Dark Horse one today. And this is by Daniel Freedman and CROM.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know
C-R-O-M.
this was Dark Horse. I didn't.
It
look
is.
at it.
It's actually. Did I make that up? No, it is Dark.
No,
Horse.
it is.
I
It
was
is
correct.
Dark
It is Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
Dark Horse Comics, of course, famous for things. Did they do The Mask and stuff like that in the 90s? What did the Dark Horse do?
Did they do the mask?
They
I
do-
don't know.
Was that Spawn? Did they do Spawn?
No,
They-
Spawn's Image.
Image?
I don't know.
What did Dark Horse
Yeah,
ever
that
do?
was Spawn.
Was Hellboy
Are
Dark
you kidding
Horse?
me? Spawn's like Wildcat.
Hellboy. Maybe Hellboy was Dark Horse.
Hellboy is
Maybe
Dark Horse.
what Dark
That's
Horse
correct.
I feel like there was something else that was Dark Horse.
Are you thinking
What
of
was-
Madman?
There's a lot. There's a lot that's
Or
Dark
was
Horse.
that Vertigo?
All
Dark
right.
Horse has done a lot of stuff over the years, but I honestly, I only
Wikipedia.
dip in and out, and I don't pay attention to it. You know, like I don't remember that it's Dark Horse. I guess is what I'm saying. I go like, oh, I love that book, but it's mostly creator-owned stuff like this, and then I just kind of completely forget that it was Dark Horse and move on with my life. But they've done tons of stuff.
Oh well, they do a lot of licensed
Sin
stuff,
City,
like Star
maybe?
Wars, Predator, Aliens, Sin
Yeah.
City. Yeah, they do some
Yeah.
licensed
The
stuff.
Goon.
They did Sin City, The Goon, Usagi Yojimbo. Yeah, they do a lot. They do a lot. They republish the manga like Blade of the Immortal. Okay, Dark Horse, you do a lot. You're okay in my book. You do a lot, Dark Horse.
Yeah,
But we're here to talk
Blade of
about
the
Birdking.
Immortal. Loved it.
Yeah, well, they didn't do. I mean, they published.
I know.
They distributed it.
But they brought it to me.
They did bring it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Birdman is a dark fantasy. epic.
Birdman, fighter of the sky, man. It's Birdking, bro.
Birdking. Birdking.
The
I'm
way
sorry,
you said
Birdman.
it as well was very much like Damon. Birdman.
That's why I immediately launched into that song. I was like, what are you doing? This is a Sunny in Philadelphia episode?
Well, no, but Birdman is there's a famous
God.
rapper named Birdman. There's Birdman the film with Michael Keaton.
Al
There's
just
a lot of
walks into the
Birdman.
room and is like, I've got news. I got big news, and puts his hand on his hips.
Birdman. Okay, Bird King. We're talking about Bird King,
Okay.
Fighter of the Night King.
Basically.
Yeah, by Daniel Freedman and CROM. Little creator notes. So Freedman and CROM haven't done a lot, like apart from each other. They did a series called Raiders, and they did this. CROM is a pen name for somebody who wears a mask in their picture.
Yeah,
so you don't know who they
I've
are.
never seen his face. Although.
You don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Wait.
But I think
He has an artist persona.
Yeah, artist
I assume
persona.
it's a he. I apologize.
Okay, well, let's just say
That
they.
was-
Just say they.
Let's say they. They wear a mask and they have an artist persona.
Yep. And CROM is, I'm assuming, a reference to Conan the Barbarian, because CROM is the god of steel
by
that he
CROM,
worships.
yeah, by CROM.
Unless it's an acronym of like colorist.
It might be.
Colors are really amazing, man.
Man.
Yeah, CROM. So it's either an acronym or maybe CROM.
How are you all so knowledgeable about Conan the Barbarian?
It was my favorite movie. Like growing up, I saw that movie millions of times. Billions. Of times.
Patrick worships at the Tree of Woe. All right. I don't know. I like Conan.
It was a great movie,
right?
Yeah, it was a great movie. I haven't liked the sequel. You know,
I'll check it out, I guess.
Yeah,
never seen it.
or don't. I don't know.
Or don't.
Maybe you don't need
If you
that
just
in
want to
your life.
watch some old shitty
Maybe
Arnold
anything
Schwarzenegger,
that
it's amazing.
Nostalgia. Nostalgia's hot right now. Very valuable.
It is very hot. And then Daniel Freedman is also like writes for television and other comics, mostly with CROM. And so they're the creative, that little creative team that put together this little comic called The Birdking.
This was created by them as well. They are the writer and artist creative team on the book, but they made the book as well.
Yes.
Someone else did the letters, though.
but
I think CROM does all the
let's
artwork
just
otherwise.
jump into it. I mean, it's the synopsis is it's a dark fantasy epic of a little smith girl named Bianca who, along with the animated armor of the King of Feather Hill, goes on an adventure.
Yeah.
That's the elevator pitch. All right.
What's
What
your
am I missing?
overall take,
That's what it's about.
Alessandro?
So let's talk about it. Do we want to do overall takes?
Yeah, why not?
Gotta do overall takes.
Or do you want to talk about the book more in general first? I think we covered it.
Well, this is volume 1 we're covering, and it's
That's
gonna
true.
be 4
We are doing volume
volumes.
1. It's
Four
7
volumes
issues
total?
or chapters, as they call them. But,
Oh yeah, this episode is only about volume 1.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
spoilers, I did read volume 2. I'm not going to say anything about it. But I haven't read volume 3. And Patrick, you were saying that it was going to be 4 volumes? I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
4 volumes is the full.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Going to be the full story. I mean, George R.
So-
Martin said that about Song of Ice and Fire, and look where we are.
Volume 3 came out relatively recently, right? Like 2023, maybe? Is that right?
I
believe
believe
so.
volume 3 just came out.
It might have
Like,
just
I
come
think
out. I could be
24.
completely wrong. Maybe it was a 2024 thing. So if they're moving along at that pace, that's pretty good, you know?
Well, are we
this
doing?
is
Are we
2020
doing?
Volume
the
1
math
was 2022, so 2023 was volume 2. And then
Well, wait. Let's do the math. So if a train leaves the city in 2022,
if
and
he's
it
drawing
does
7
volume
issues in a
1
year, that's pretty good. He's got time. I bet it'll come out next year.
but right, volume 1. Should we do overall takes?
Yes.
What did you? Are you?
So
Patty,
can
were
I,
you mad
can
that
I
I moved
just
right past
full-
the math scenario?
So full disclosure, I accidentally muted the audio on this like for 10 seconds, so I didn't hear what you all were saying for a solid 10 seconds.
Oh.
Good.
So just as an FYI, apparently on the Firefox tab, you can mute the tab.
Oh.
And
You can do that with any
Firefox,
tab.
man.
So I apologize
also,
if I didn't hear.
I'm really glad we got all those insults in real quick, Patty, before he.
Where he can defend himself.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do overall takes?
Yes, we're doing
Yeah.
overall takes, and you're going first. Have at it.
I thought this was a ton of fun. I loved it. I like this kind of fantasy setting, dark fantasy setting with dark lords, wraiths chasing shit, undead. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was cool. Volume 1 is very much a setting up the journey, sort of like very much an Act 1 where you don't really get a lot of information and not a ton happens other than just the call to action that our hero gets. So, having said that, I thought it was very compelling. I did enjoy CROM's art is very specific. I did like it. Didn't love it, but I did like it. And yeah, I mean, this is a thumbs up or whatever for me. I enjoyed it. I have volume 2 ordered at the library. I'm going to read it as soon as I can because I wanted, as soon as I was done with this, I wanted to just start right back up on their journey. So I bought into Birdking and Bianca and all that.
Patty?
I don't have too much to add from what Al said. It is a lot of fun. We're covering the first volume. It's very much Act 1 material, and I like it because it does kind of follow the hero's journey. I feel like we have the call to adventure, and we at the end we're leaving the ordinary world, going into the mythical world. Very strong mentor character, strong drive for the main protagonist to take up the sword and go on this adventure. So I do like. I am compelled to read more of it. I really love the art. The art is kind of cutesy, and there's like an innocence to it. It looks almost like it's drawn for children. And I don't know if there's like a specific genre of this. It reminds me of a lot of anime that I've watched where the animation is kind of like the big heads and the overexpressive eyes and stuff like that. But while that's happening, it's like the storyline is very dark.
It's very serious. Yeah.
Like there's an anime called Maiden Abyss, and there's another anime called Puella Magica Madoka. And those animations, it's like it looks like the marketing would look like it's being marketed to kids, but the storylines are very dark. And I kind of got the impression that's where this story's headed. And I really like that trope or genre of storytelling where the juxtaposition of what's happening on the panel is very gruesome, but the art makes it easy to digest in a weird way. So yeah, overall, I just really, really loved it. I will also continue reading it.
I agree, Patrick. Another great anime in that genre is Ranking of Kings, which legit looks like an anime for 3-year-olds. Like it's very kiddie drawn, but it's also like a super dark fantasy kind of epic story and like a lot of adult themes and all that. So that's another good one.
That really simple style of anime that like what was it? What's that movie with the kids in the city, Al, and they're like, I don't know, hiding in a car. Concrete? Yeah, Tech on Concrete. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of reminiscent of that. Just not as good, I would say, but no offense to CROM, but very simplistic in terms of like the character designs, I guess.
Yeah, also I'd say if what you took from that is that anime about the kids who live in a city and are in the car, it's not the most compelling. Not the most compelling media property, but
the kids, the little kids, and they live in a car. Patty got it right away, Al. Right away.
Because Al wouldn't shut up about that movie for like 10 years.
That's true.
It had really great action sequences.
It's a fantastic movie. I mean, it's got little kids and they live in a car. What more could you ask for? Anyway, my oversight. I'm the one who recommended this book. I hadn't even read it though, so like I didn't know what we were getting into. I just thought the art looked fun, and I love a good story of like fiction, fantasy, comic art like this as well. Kind of reminds me of Bone a little bit. I loved Bone back in the day with Jeff Davis. And just very kind of just reminded me of that. A lot of the art reminds me of that. It's kind of simplistic cartoon characters running around in a more serious, dark fantasy world. The story is, even having read Volume 2, it's still like stuff happens in Volume 2. Don't get me wrong, but it's still like ramping up to Volume 3 and 4. So like clearly, it's going to come to like more of a crescendo in the later volumes.
A side note.
This is still a fun first volume, though.
Yeah, also on that, what you just said, Joe, a side note, I read an interview with CROM and Daniel Freedman, and they both said that they don't plan out their stories ahead of time. They basically go volume by volume and add to it. Yeah, because they talk about how, this is more for Volume 2 and 3, but the Kingdom of Atlas, for example, they kind of rewrote when they got there as opposed to what they imagined it originally. So they actually don't they're
It's
not.
like they have like an outline ish, and then when they get there, they're like,
yeah, and then they
that
fill
doesn't
it
really
out,
work
but then
anymore. Let's change it
change.
to yeah.
Yeah, but
I
they don't
respect that.
have like a strict outline and like all the bullet points already set at the beginning and then flesh it out. They kind of see where the characters and the world take them, and they kind of go as they write.
Kind of admire that writing style though. Like there is something to be said about having everything written, like knowing the ending when you start, but to allow the characters to like.
I'm sure they have an ending.
Their own like.
Yeah.
I highly doubt they're going to get to the end and be like, we're changing it completely.
The only
However-
comment I'd make is what you just said, Patrick. Not true for the writers of fucking Lost. Okay, that show should have had a real ending. At any point in the 12 seasons of that goddamn show, there should have been a real ending.
It was 6 seasons, and I loved every one of them. And you're insane.
Okay,
The
well,
endings were fantastic.
Joe, I'm waiting. If you could list out any of the answers we get to any of the mysteries in the show, please. I'm waiting.
What do you want to know an answer to? We don't have enough time for that right now.
Okay, sure. Anyway,
I love the art. I love the story, but and I love the story so far. I like where it's going, kind of thing. It's kind of fun. It's interesting. I mean, I haven't seen, like, basically there's one place that they all live right now, and it's like the one side of these mountains.
Feather Hill.
And there's a fight on the other side of it. No, the entire like Northlands or whatever.
The Northlands.
The South is another nation, and we don't see that nation. Is my
South
point in this
nation,
volume.
the kingdom of Atlas.
But
the
the impression that you get is that it's almost is that they live in like the bad guys area. Like, you know, they're not like living in like a nice place.
What is it, Mordor? They live in Mordor.
They basically live in Mordor, and they're like, Sauron's not that bad. You know, that's kind of where they live. But like, and I like the Ghibli-esque ishness to it as well. I love all those. I love literally every Ghibli movie ever. So like, it kind of is reminiscent of that a little bit too. So there's just a little. It's kind of like a day in the life of like of what. And yeah, it's the starting of this adventure, but like, it's kind of the time that it takes. Specifically, there's one issue where they just travel almost the entire issue, or chapter rather, and I really love that. It's just fun. They took the time to actually do that. Like, fantasy books do that. So like, taking the time at a visual medium comic book to like be like, they're just on horses still. You know, like, I kind of love that. Yeah. You know, so
I also to Joe's point, I do like how it's kind of a reverse Lord of the Rings. How the Lord of the Rings is sort of an idyllic country spot, in the Hobbits say, oh, we got to go to hell to fight the demon lord, and this one starts sort of in hell, like you are a subject of the evil person, and your journey starts there. And I thought that was kind of an interesting, because anytime they pass by a town, you know, they're just like, oh, look at that town, and they zoom into the town, and it's just people sacrificing babies to their Lord.
It's like, holy shit.
It's like, oh, okay, all right,
let's move on from there. Anyway, chapter 1.
Yeah, chapter 1. Let's start in on it. I do all these chapters. One thing I like to Freedman's writing, all the chapters start with kind of little history notes, and I like all of these little tidbits. And chapter 1 is last and certainly least was the kingdom of Feather Hill, tucked away deep in the east of the high north, the lowliest and most forlorn of domains. A reminder to all what happens when they break their promises to the savior Agul. And I like the setup there because, again, Agul sounds like a bad person, like Agul. That's creepy. But he is savior. Yeah. But here in the north, he is savior.
I like how on the nose his name is like Agul.
Yeah, because he is literally a ghoul.
Just call him Devil Man.
Yeah,
there's Always Sunny reference. Ghoul.
But I like how in the intro though they refer to him as savior, because again in the north he is the king. Like, he is.
Yeah, and there's an interesting note. So this is one of the books she's reading in chapter 2, but like she carries around a lot of books with her. Even when she leaves on her travels, she takes the books with her, or some of them at least. But this is it's a quote from one of the books, but I like it's called Histories of the North, Volume 3 or whatever. And I think it's in this very first chapter that she mentions something in the books, and her mentor, the arcane,
Thorin?
is like the arcane blacksmith is what I was going to say. But yeah, Thorin is like, you shouldn't believe everything you read in books. And I just thought it was a funny thing to say in like today's literature. Yeah. But also, of course, considering our political climate, but like, she literally shouldn't believe everything she reads in books because they live in the bad guy area. I just thought it was funny. Anyway.
No, I thought that was
Yeah.
it's funny because he says he's basically getting onto her about reading books, and he says you can't trust books because books are written by people, and you can't trust people.
You can't trust
like,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It's
The
all
first,
basically just propaganda.
the first sentence he
for
said was just
Google.
like, that was great.
Yeah. Also, I relate to a lot of this because as someone who now lives in the bad guys' kingdom,
Yeah.
like in real life, I totally relate to everything Bianca went through.
There's a
but-
magical kingdom to the north, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. It's all
It's Canada.
light and social health care.
Making our way to Canada.
Yeah.
We
So
might
we're
soon.
introduced to Bianca just crushing statues. Bruh, she's just crushing stats.
Those
Left to
statues were
They're
real
they're
asking
people,
for it.
right?
They're asking
people.
for it.
Okay.
They're Medusa people for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Like 100%.
A million
I mean, they're
percent.
long dead, Patrick. They're not going to come magically to life at the end of a happy story. Wouldn't it be
but
wonderful
yeah.
if the end of this book was them coming back to this kingdom
Yeah.
and feather?
And just flesh bodies
And
dead
Birdking.
everywhere.
Yeah, all just destroyed flesh everywhere. She's like, oh shit.
No, but yeah, Patrick, to your point, those are 1,000,000% like fairy tale curse. Everybody's turned to stone, real people. 1,000,000%.
I
I
mean-
do like Feather Hill is just covered with birds. We don't understand the bird thing yet, or I don't know, in this volume.
No.
But the statues
There's
are
the
also
bird
just
with the
covered in bird shit.
There's the bird with the skull
Yeah.
on its chest.
Well, that's
which is-
it's just the one panel of the like father cradling the child, and it's like covered in
Yeah.
bird shit. But like the expressions on the child and the father's face are just so just desolate and just despair.
There's
It's just that-
there's I mean one of them
it-
is just on like in a praying position, just like kneeling and on a like with his hands in his hand or his head in his hands kind of thing on his knees. I mean,
Like, it's a
but then
horrible
there's the one
scene.
guy just carrying sticks, and you're like, well, he obviously didn't care.
He
what
didn't get
was
the
going
memo.
on.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo. No, but they're all very much kind of sort of a Pompeii like dying.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. And it's funny too, because her Smith is like, what were you doing? It'd be funny if he was just like, those are real people you're hammering. To.
Yeah. So basically, he doesn't mention anything. He just goes, "You were up at that castle again." He knows what she's doing, I guess, because I mean, it's how she it's her workout. It's her daily workout before she goes to the smithy.
And on the way back, then she kind of runs into a
we
war
meet
party.
Bianca. We
And a
we
friend
don't
of
see the
hers-
Birdking yet, but we see
We see the bird
her
with
friends. We meet the Birdking bird.
You meet the Birdking bird. But she runs into her friend Amelia, or remember, is it Amela?
Amela, I would say. Yeah.
Who just got conscripted into a ghoul's army, basically.
So I don't know if she just got conscripted, but that's been her job since however long they gave her a job. But so maybe she's been training for a while, but she's on her way to the front or whatever. So they're on their way out to a battle.
Yeah, another
It
art
seems like
note-
you get the impression that they just like when they're born, they're just like, you're going to be a soldier, you're going to be a blacksmith, you're going to be like they just get jobs right away, or they
Another-
get sacrificed at a altar. No, we don't know.
or all of that. Yeah. An art note. One thing I couldn't quite get a grip on was the
deep
eyes
set
blacked
eyeshadows?
out.
Yeah,
Because
that's
later,
the one part of the art I don't like.
Well, later you find out that a lot of a ghoul's army is actual wraiths and like undead people. And so I thought that maybe, people with their eyes blacked out are undead, but then
But it's not. It's just everybody
But it's not. But
indiscriminately.
it's everybody from far away sort of has their eyes.
There's
blacked
also
out,
like
so-
one of the main guys that comes around later. Not main guy, but he's a random bad guy that comes. When they present the broken sword. He has
The
an
one
eye
that gets
patch,
his
so
ass
he
kicked?
has a giant black, but his other eye
yeah.
is also blacked out. And I was like, "Guy, come on!"
But
So
that
that's
was
the
the-
one part of the art where I'm like, I really wish there was less giant black circles for shadows on their eyes all the time.
Yeah, and that was the thing where, I mean, I guess it's just an artistic choice, but I was
Yeah.
trying to read into it like some kind of symbolism, but I don't.
There is deep shadows
really.
in a lot
Yeah.
of the other art, so it's not. I mean, like for instance, the guy that's on the horse that's like looking down at her, and he's like, "Move along, outlier scum," and he's just like, "Get out of the way," kind of thing for the army. like his whole body is shrouded in shadow. Like it's this cloak, and then it's just you can see his hands coming out, but it's really just all black. So it doesn't really look weird that his eyes are blacked out per se, but like there's certain scenes when her eyes are blacked out. I'm just like, it's bright light. Like shouldn't be, you know, I don't know. There's just times where I'm like, I wish that wasn't as frequent. It's not even that it's bad, it's just it's often. And I'm like, that's the one part of the art that I'm like, I wish he wouldn't do that so much.
And then right, and then so Bianca arrives at the town of Quill, which is kind of an old west
shithole
town.
Yeah, it
but
looks like an
one
old
note
west
I wanted to make that I kind of all of the Agul, you know, like Do You Hear His Whisper and the posters of his symbol remind me a lot of the not Strange Adventures, but Mr. Miracle's like Dark Side Is and Dark Side, like all those posters and like Dark Side. The Agul stuff kind of reminded me of that as this, but again, to Patrick's point, it's propaganda. It's propaganda everywhere.
Oh yeah, it's 100% propaganda.
You know, Agul he's everywhere, and he's whispering.
Spoiler for 2 chapters from now or whatever. But when Thorin talks about his Agul whispering in his ears, it literally shows Agul whispering in his ear, and it's fucked up. So like if that's what they're scaring people about, like Jesus Christ, that's horrible.
Does not look like fun. Yeah.
Look at that meat. It's disgusting. It's covered in fly. They live in squalor. It's horrible.
No, it's fresh. No, it's fresh meat. Come on, it's fine.
No, it's horrible. Anyway, she makes her way to the forge, and
you know meat is good, Joe, when it's directly just stabbed into a hook. You know that the meat
and then just chopped in half with an axe.
Yeah.
On a tree, on a dirty tree stump. And they're like, "We're eating good tonight, boys."
So wait, what did you guys think? So we didn't really call out the letterer. Does the letterer do all the letters, or is that the artist? You think? Because I did like the sound effects.
Does he do the clack and chunk and stuff like that?
Yeah,
there's a lot of sound.
That's tough to say because sometimes when it's like worked into the artwork like that, sometimes it's the artist and sometimes it's not. So like I don't know. I assume
I did enjoy
being the letterer, he's just doing the word bubbles, but I could be completely wrong.
That's what I figured. I did like that. There's certain moments that I might call out where I was like, I really.
There's
like
also
that.
I agree. There's
the letter,
there's
by the way.
There's
just
a few
to call it out.
Sequences that I don't know if it was a letter or CROM either, Patty, but there's a few sequences with the words integrated into the art that I'm like, I love that so much.
Yeah. Just to call it out, the letterer of this is Michael David Thomas, old MDT.
Yeah, there's also Diana Ortiz is the editorial design, so not editor. But editorial design. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means she like laid out the books.
It's like an associate producer credit. It just means you knew someone.
Yeah,
it doesn't really mean you did anything.
She might have been doing more on the graphic design side of stuff. Is what I mean. Is like putting the actual book together and like making like the chapter interruptions. You know, like she might have been like, let's use this illustration, this quote, or whatever. I mean, I don't know what her job was. I'm just guessing.
No, definitely. Also, Diana, I was kidding. We know you did work for this. I'm just joking. You weren't an associate producer. Okay.
Anyway, she comes up to Thorin. She's like, "Master, hey!" And she's like, "You're late again."
Yeah. So we are introduced to her emotionally unavailable caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him though. He was like the just classic mentor, like gruff, hard around the edges, but like really cares about her and is just everything he does is looking out for her pretty much.
He's a
total badass.
Yeah,
he has gross scars all over his body.
Well, I was going to say immediately he's covered in scars and you're like, Jesus Christ, you've been working the forge for the last 80 years, old man? And then like we find out what that means, obviously, in like the next chapter.
But they're like vein scars. They're not attractive scars.
But I think it's kind of cool.
They're not like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. Cool.
Well, so he's got a real scar over his eye, and then the pink scars of like him being a centaur are like different, like colored differently.
Also,
and to Patty's note,
so near.
Thonir. I thought it was Thorin.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought it was Thunir. I thought it was Thunir. Thonir?
Thonir.
It'd be Thonir.
Well,
Thonir's better.
The TH. Okay, Thonir. I'm going to call him.
I was mixing the N and the R this entire time. Saying his name wrong. Big T's here. Anyway, I like how Big T, to Patty's point, I like how he yells at her, and then she's just like, he's like, because I said so, that's why. And then, and then there's like, man, all right, let's put it this way. If you're a father, you've yelled at your son and or daughter before, and then you immediately go, why did I do that? And then like instantaneously she feels bad and just has the ellipses for her word bubble, and he goes, I'm sorry, Bianca. I didn't mean to yell at you. And then he goes, "There's just so much you don't understand yet." And he's like, "Then tell me everything." And he's like, "I wish I could." But that's kind of a crazy way to start their introduction together, I think.
Well,
Which
I
he
did
does
like
eventually talk to her and tell her more, but
but I did like that interaction of, there's just a lot you don't understand. Well, then tell me.
Yeah.
No.
But I used to get that when you were a kid, didn't you? Like, I don't know how
100%.
old Bianca is supposed to be, but yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm old enough to know what y'all are talking about, but you won't tell me.
I think she's coming of age, like 13, 14.
I think she is like a 11 to 13 range, sort of younger.
Yeah, I would say maximum she's 15, maximum. So she's probably somewhere between. I think older than 11, probably 12, somewhere between 12 and 15. I would say.
Not old enough to know. Not old enough to know. Certainly.
No.
Old enough to understand. I think I do. That is that stereotypical like parent. I can't. One of these days I'll tell you the truth. It's like,
yeah.
I've got
it doesn't. We're witnessing that crossover, is what I'm saying. Like, we're getting to the point where he does finally go, like, this is who you are, and this, like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, when our first introduction of him is very much like that stereotypical, like, shut the fuck up, kid, and get to work. We got 100 swords and shields to make for a ghoul. And you're like, God damn, okay.
Yeah, I have it's weird to me, given what happens in the next chapters, that he's making swords for a ghoul's army at all at this point.
I feel like everything he's doing is to protect Bianca. I feel
but it sounds like if he didn't make the weapons and just was out of the way, a ghoul wouldn't care, right?
No, a ghoul would definitely care because he's the only one that they know of that can make the magic weapon still.
But that's different. That's the magic weapon. I mean, in terms of making everyday swords for the army, I don't feel like a ghoul would really give a shit if this dude wasn't.
Oh, no, yeah, of course not.
Maybe not.
I don't think so. Maybe.
But also, it's like, if he doesn't do that, then they're going to be like, oh, well, Bianca's being drafted into the fucking army now.
Yeah, I think there's that too. And so, and we touch on it briefly when he starts telling a little bit about his history and like where her mom went and stuff. And maybe it's like he's left holding the bag with Bianca and her mom's gone, and he's like waiting for her to return sometime, or at the very least, he waited for a while and then realized they're stuck there until they can escape somehow. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have a bright outlook on life, living in a ghoul's territories. You know what I mean?
He seems pretty. And I think he is just that with protecting this.
Yeah, and we do also find out that we don't know why, but that Bianca and Big T they're different than other people. They're like outsiders or whatever, or out.
Yeah, well, they're from Feather
outliers,
which we find out.
Outlier, yeah, but they are separate from Quill Town and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
they're pariahs living out.
We learn that there's some sort of agreement that they don't have to serve in the army for some reason,
as long as they keep making swords.
And later we will find out why. All right, in chapter 2, this is where we see her read the Histories of the North, Volume 3, as told by Sage Henrin Onwerga.
My daughter has the same skull and wreath over her bed, which I thought was weird.
It's your guardian angel skull. There it is.
Yeah. It's a dream catcher. Histories of the North, Volume 3. It's what she was reading.
Is that a stuffed animal or like a real rabbit?
No, that's a real bunny.
It's a real rabbit.
It snuggles up to her in like the next scene.
Oh, right. Okay, so that is a real rabbit. But this is, we get cool lore about the different magical weapons, like the Carnage Whip.
Yeah, this is actually what I was talking about, or one of the instances, Patty. I love how the art goes in front of the words, and you don't. I mean, you can read it still because you can fill in the blanks. But
kind of though. It's kind of a. Not all of it's totally legible. The hammer in the corner.
The bow, mace of pain.
That's the Borges Valley or whatever. It was on the map.
The Borges mace of pain. We got the Carnage of Whip of Ponter. The Reaper of Bispin, the Axe of Agony, it's
the Borges Valley Mace of Pain. It says it right there.
The Great Sword of and the Feather Flail of Two Deaths.
Yeah, the Feather Flail of Two Deaths. Yeah.
But it's cool. Like
it's really cool. It's really cool.
Like that.
I like it.
It's cool. They're cool weapons. We get some
and like the way I don't have an image of it on screen, but like this panel at the bottom after that, of the race like leaning forward and running into that. Like that's creepy. And the trailing banner, I love that. That's
and this is going back to the kind of reverse Lord of the Rings aesthetic. You know, how in Lord of the Rings, Sauron gives the rings to his wraiths and they become his ring wraiths and all that. And this is similar. A ghoul gives his 6 weapons to his 6 wraiths. And so it's kind of like, you know, again,
also,
that idea of
the
this
ghoul
girl, Bianca,
that we
lives
see,
in Mordor.
it says for the first time, the North united under a single banner, the banner of a ghoul. The ghoul we see still looks human or alive. The ghoul we meet later
he was
on.
They mentioned that it was like later it comes into play, but they talk about how it was kind of later in time that he fully sort of gives himself.
I just think it's interesting. It was kind of cool. It was a really fun way of dumping some lore real quick, of just having her read before she went to bed. It was awesome.
Yeah, and we just build out this idea that she's living in Mordor, which is kind of interesting.
Which is cool, to your point, because the wraiths, like the ring wraiths, are kind of like these commanders that are admired by the public, you know,
by the regular soldiers. They're like, the wraiths will save us, they'll get us through the battle. Yeah, they're the heroes.
Yeah, all we have to do is sacrifice children.
Yeah, all we have to do is put your youngest brother or sister on the altar, and everything will be fine. We'll get a little drawing painted on our foreheads with blood. To this day, the war between light and dark continues, everlasting, eternal. And she goes, eternal war, what a joke. And goes to bed, and I was like, there's little stuff like that. Like Bianca has some like kind of funny little tidbits here and there. Like it's not like overly you laugh out loud kind of thing, but you're kind of like, oh, she's funny. She's a good character.
And then back to Bianca. So she has basically destroyed all of these people statues that we talked about, other than the statue of the Queen of Featherhill. But before she can smash
we assume, we don't know.
Well, okay, yeah, a person.
We don't know. It could be his daughter.
Okay, or well, also I gotta say, fairly Sailor Moon coded with like a moon circle around her head.
Yeah, I feel like there was very anime manga. Even the Birdking is very Alphonse Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yes, very.
A lot of the armor designs are big and bulky and chunky like that. I love it.
Yeah. I like my armor big and bulky and chunky.
I like it.
Yeah.
Michael.
But before
it's
she
ludicrous.
Smash,
they couldn't possibly move or fight in those things, but it's amazing. It looks cool.
Ludicrous Bridges.
It's ludicrous. I don't know.
Ludicrous. Okay, but before she can smash this last statue of the maybe queen, that Skullbird stops her and leads her kind of into also this castle here. Very Legend of Zelda Hyrule Castle.
I thank you for that.
Very Hyrule Castle with the kind of twin staircases
it's like 100%
around a circular.
The twin staircases are coming down and the doors walk through. It's
exactly like in Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild.
I was actually just gonna say Wind Waker. It reminds me specifically of going down into the castle under the water in Wind Waker.
This is very Zelda coded.
Breath of the Wild.
And she meets the Bird King,
she meets the dead wraith body of the Bird King. Which I guess is separated from the blade that would wake him up, I guess. It's interesting because if you're going off the idea that the statues are the people, I'm not sure that that's the case with the queen or whoever she is, because hers seems like more of a statue that's been put up in place, or maybe it happened to her and he put her up on a pedestal or something like that. But she's very put up like in a space of reverence.
Well, either way, he doesn't want her.
There's another statue that she has destroyed that was like on top of a fountain almost. And it was clearly what I would describe as the Bird King, surrounded by troops with swords coming at him. Oh. And I'm not sure. And she smashed them all, so I don't know. So I'm like, was that his actual body that was like frozen in stone?
That wasn't the Bird King. That was the sintered. He had a hammer. That was the sintered. I think.
But look at the armor. I don't know. That might have been him in life. Is what I'm saying.
It's got little.
Well, he was a sinter, right? It's kind of implied that the Bird King was the leader.
Yeah, he was the king of that.
Y'all, look at this. Look at the armor with the spikes everywhere, and then look at his armor.
You don't think that could have been him in life? That's him as a wraith.
No. They're completely different.
Okay.
But she does find, and back to your Alphonse Elric design, one thing that actually both creators talked about in that interview is the Bird King is kind of like hulking cute. He's both cute and hulking. He has a tiny little skull with an off-center crown. He's very cute, but he's also a giant armor Hulk. So he's kind of both cute and imposing.
Also,
and I think
he's not awake yet, but like I
that.
love the last panel of him here is like he almost turns his head. Like I know it's just showing it from a different angle, but like she's like, "Why did you bring me here, little bird?" And it's like the skull kind of like shifted a little bit or something, kind of thing.
Right. And then so the next scene is Big T without a shirt.
Yeah, he's working his forge, man.
Yeah, Patrick, calm down. I know, older man shirtless. Calm down, Patrick. But,
right. He's good.
He does have gross scars all over his body. But so some of Agul's soldiers arrive with the Adarin Greatsword of Everlasting Flame, which is broken. And they need somebody to fix it. So it has to be. Now this is kind of where we find out like that Sintered exists, and they're apparently the only people who can fix.
We meet Blondo. I don't remember his name, and I don't care for it, but his name's Blondo.
I don't know if we ever learn his name.
We don't.
I don't know if we do.
Oh well. At any rate, we meet Blondo. That's what I call him.
He's
like, we have work for you, old man. He's like, as Agul has already tasked me, and he's like, that can wait. We have more important matters. And they present the sword. I don't like it's pretty awesome. I like how he's just mouthing off and kicking shit over, and then Master T just knocks him one with a hammer. With a hammer, not with his hand. He hits him with a hammer, and he just goes skittering across the ground like a little rag doll, and it's fucking hilarious. They're like, "This is how we're starting this."
I love the sound effects. Onomatopoeias, the swift thrust, prut.
Prut.
You just imagine his body just like skipping like a rock across. Water.
And anyway, this Blondo persists throughout the entire volume 1 and 2 so far as well, by the way.
And the champion too, with that kind of straw hat with the slits, is very sort of like a Chinese wuxia Japanese thing.
Yeah, you got there's like some not
Yojimbo. What was that summon from Final Fantasy X? Didn't he have one of those? Yojimbo.
I was thinking Jubei Kumagami.
Well, also the lightning people in Big Trouble in Little China. They have those kind of hats.
Oh yeah, and Ninja Scroll. I mean, like it's just a hat.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it's a cool thing. Cool thing we do.
I like it.
And we learn that Big T Thonir, his moniker is Hammer of the North.
Yeah.
He's got a rep.
Yeah. The old man. This is where the old man with the eye patch comes in. That's very confusing because unless there was a line drawn across there, I would never have known it wasn't just a dark shadow on his eye. That's why I'm like, too many dark shadows on your eye.
Yeah, and so they have kind of a confrontational discussion, but basically it boils down to we're going to leave you the sword, fix it, and we'll be back in 10 days.
10 days.
Chapter 3.
And we do
go on this journey.
One question I had. The Adarin Greatsword of Everlasting Flame, the blade was broken, slaying the White Saint. The Wraith of Adarin cannot continue his war without a sword. Even now he sleeps, waiting for his purpose to be reawakened. It seems like the Bird King's been sleeping there for a long time, but the blade was recently broken, right? So that's the part I didn't quite understand, because the Wraith of Adarin is the Bird King.
I feel like I guess it'll be answered later, but I'm assuming he's also a
the Wraith of Adarin is the Bird King?
Yeah, he's sleeping, right? He sleeps, waiting for his purpose to be reawakened. Is the Bird King, right?
I think they're two different.
No, Adarin's a different place. He's the Wraith of Feather Hill. He just takes the sword to come back to life. The Wraith of Feather Hills, the Bird King, the Wraith of Feather Hills, was the flail.
Oh, okay.
They come with the sword. Okay. So Adarin died, quote unquote. The Wraith died in battle in the south. at the
Okay,
mountains.
I
or whatever.
understand. So the sword was not originally the Bird King's weapon.
No,
but
not
it
at all.
just-
Yeah, he
but it
just the sword was the sword he just
differently
becomes his
resurrected it.
weapon. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I take that back. Hey, everything Freedman, everything makes sense. Okay. I was wrong.
So this is the chapter, and they do this not just in this. They do well. I think there's even more of it in this actually. But I love just the travel montages. Like them traveling together is fun. I'm like, this doesn't feel like wasted time. Oh, that's what I was going to say about the art before we move forward real quick. There's definitely like a freedom to the art that two guys that know each other well, probably working together well, or rather maybe they just work together well. I don't know. Who knows how well they know each other. But the idea of like, here's the script, like take however much time. Like, so the next chapter, for instance, when there's a lot of fighting, there's way more pages in that chapter than in these first few chapters. But like, it's because it was just these few chapters, first few are just like exposition. So he just like tells the story. But when there's time to like show more action and stuff, it takes a lot more pages. You know, like most of these first chapters are only like 15, 16 pages or something like that. I think chapter 4 and 5 are like 26 or 22, or like they get up there. They start adding like 10-ish pages a piece, you know, kind of thing. And I was like, I like the freedom that this artist clearly had to be like, oh, I need more space to tell this part of that story, and then the next chapter. But that doesn't restrict how long a chapter should be or whatever, you know, kind of thing. They're just like, this story beat needs to happen in this chapter. Take as much time as you need to tell it artistically, and then move on. And I that's evident in like how the fighting comes out and stuff like that. I guess, I don't know. Like when there's more action, there's obviously more pages, I guess is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But I like how they take the time to do it.
Did y'all ever watch Scavenger's Reign on Netflix? Because this
I
issue,
never saw it.
It reminded me of the animation and stuff of that. Just the big, like beautiful landscapes, but at the same time, there's just that presence of danger everywhere.
Well, I don't know if y'all ever played this game, but the Flatlands specifically remind me of Breath of Fire 4, which was an old PlayStation RPG. But there's a part of it where you have to find the grass dragon, and it's in the middle of this giant flat prairie area. And this reminded me exactly of that.
Cool.
So
the Flatlands are horrifying. I wrote.
Are they? They're just flat.
Maybe because of what Patrick was just saying, like this sense of like imminent danger, like wherever they go. So when you go out to something that like you're that out in the open, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's like
it does, and also there's a panel kind of top-down view that you can just see velociraptors or something running up.
Yeah, just like
if it were
running in from the sides.
Having said that, I had the opposite. Actually, maybe this is a psychological test of like personality, but I found this part very calming.
I mean, so that's the thing. It's
I didn't
simultaneously
think it was dangerous at all or anything. I just thought it was a very calming.
You know what? I wasn't worried because Thonier seemed to not be worried. So like I was like, okay, you know, yeah, but like she's kind of like, what the fuck? And she's like,
like
there's one part where she's like, we've been walking for like 4 hours and nothing has changed. That would freak me out.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fine, it's around here somewhere, you know, like, and he just keeps walking. And you're like, oh.
But you can tell a character note for Big T that I liked is you can tell that because they've been confronted by these kind of higher up lieutenants and are dealing with a wraith weapon. He lets Bianca do the smith work. He kind of opens up about some of the history. You can tell that he's realizing,
in the direction,
okay, we're going to be dragged into this, and I need to start preparing her for what's coming.
So
I did like that kind of.
He sends her down the hole, which I thought was insane.
I did as well. But again, I think they did such a good job setting him up as such a protective mentor that I wouldn't believe he'd let her go down there by herself.
When was the last time he was here, Patrick?
I mean, it has creepy.
We don't know what the fuck is down
it's got death statue effigies all over.
The way he knocked
there could be alien eggs. It looks like there's alien eggs on the floor of that place. Like he's just got to be careful.
I mean, well, those hunks are the metal they need, but like the ore they need. I mean,
but I do like that character beat in Mr. T, where Big T. Sorry, Mr. T is a
Master
trademark.
T.
Yeah. But you do see him realize we're going to be dragged into this. I got to start getting it ready. And I thought that was kind of a cool change. And Bianca from her end is still pretty kind of innocent, naive about it all. Like,
Yeah,
I get to
very
work on a sword now. Hooray. Not really.
I like how he goes, did you
understanding.
find it, Bianca? And she's like, the ores? Yes, there's so many. And Crystal suit, he's like, not the ore. And she's like, there's more. And he's like, aye, child, go deeper yet. And she's like, I see a tunnel mask. Like, you can see her voice doesn't have even a word bubble. I mean, it's a word bubble, but it doesn't have a point attached to it. She'd already walked off out of the darkness or out of the light that's coming from the hole. Just, and, he sent her down there. But I mean, like, if you look at the drawings on the wall, I don't know what these things are down here or what this is, but like the drawings on the wall, there's hammers. And on one cave drawing, there's hammers and a bunch of people like waving their arms around like in praise, I suppose, and like one who's clearly a centaur with the lines drawn through their body, holding up a big hammer, kind of thing, with a lightning bolt striking it.
With a lightning bolt, yeah.
Well,
it's
guy is a ghoul.
So
right?
I think this is a place that they worshipped or something, like kind of thing. Like I think he knows it's safe because it's like no one would go in here,
like it's an ancient centered spot.
Yeah.
Another Japanese reference. I don't know if you ever saw the live action Cashin movie that came out in Japan, but that has kind of a lightning bolt from the sky that strikes and gives life, and it was very reminiscent of that little cave painting.
The little stone effigy statues all around that skull thing are all like little squat dudes holding hammers too. So like I think it's their spot.
It looks like a centered thing.
Yeah.
But so Bianca gets to kind of do the smith work and fix the sword, and Big T says that looks good. Looks good.
I like how she's like, you're hammer master, and he's like, no, you strike, and she's like, me. And he's like, yeah, it's you this time, kind of thing. I thought that was really cool. And he's still doing work, like he's still like whatever he's doing, rubbing those crystals into the sword or whatever he's doing, but adding magic in, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, there's a scene they cut where actually you saw that the night before he sort of drank a little too much, and so he needs her to do it for him. He was a little bit in his cups the night before, and so he needed a steadier hand to do this.
There is literally a scene of them like camping, and he stays up the whole time.
Yeah,
he stays up really late drinking, and then she wakes up and he's asleep.
One thing on chapter 4, I like the Song of the Centered at the beginning of chapter 4. Challenge the gods, make them believe, burn for the gods, make them see, be ash, not dust, rise above and crush, stamp your name in their minds, make man remember you till the end of time. That's a cool kind of Smith.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Song, I thought it was a neat little thing.
You can almost, think of it as something they think or sing out loud while they're hammering away. Rhythmic, I guess, is what I'm saying. I guess this is where plot note before we move on real fast. They do make the sword. The sword is whole again. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
she makes it, and it's flawless. It's flawless.
Oh yeah, that was cool though. I liked it.
Flawless.
Yeah. He's taught her well.
Yeah,
he's kind of a douche in terms of how he takes care of her sometimes. But
I don't know. I love.
He's not a douche.
He's not a douche.
Like
he's just a gruff old
He's
man.
The typical tough on the outside, teddy bear on the inside kind of.
Yeah.
What is his? Do you think is it his? Are they uncle and niece? Is it grandfather and granddaughter? Is there?
Do you want to know?
Yes, because it's not her dad. They make reference to the fact that her dad.
I mean, it's not a huge spoiler. He's her uncle.
Yeah, no, but even in this, he mentions it. I think he mentions it even in this. He says something about like his brother and his wife, or something. So I think you find
his brother and his wife in relation to the king or something like that. But he doesn't.
But not to Bianca. Okay, I got you. But I mean, still, you can sort of anyway.
Which actually we should analyze a little bit. No, because I didn't know he was her uncle.
He's Bianca's father's brother.
I'm not sure. Let's see what he says about his.
Let's just when we get there, we'll read the line.
Well, it's right around here. I mean, he starts telling her.
But we do this issue. We get a lot of backstory. So he talks about how he was in the early years of the war. He was the Hammer of the North and all that. Mm-hmm. This is where we get that scene Joe mentioned about a ghoul whispering into.
Oh God, it's creepy, dude.
It is so creepy.
Terrifying.
Look at a ghoul's mouth. Like
his whispers
and those weird whisper worm
lasery tentacles, coming out. I mean, it is.
It's like a parasite going into your ear.
And he's sleeping, but his eyes like awake, and it's like, I don't know. Just no, thank you.
Just no thanks. No thanks to ghoul. I'm good.
Well, and also, so we find out. So we know that a ghoul was taught spells to control man, and he's literally putting whatever the fuck into Thonir's ear. So I mean, like, we were just talking about, like, why didn't he leave, or why didn't he take her away, or why is he still working for a ghoul? Like, maybe it was magic that's holding her. It's not like, I guess what I'm saying is, it's not just maybe I was waiting for your mom to come back, or maybe for this, or maybe for that. I mean, like, there could be something else fucked up going on there.
Earlier issue, Big T kind of says that he hates the Birdking, and then he kind of goes into
and well, we find out, like, kind of the general dynamic is the centered seem to have been sort of nomadic.
They were like nomadic, yeah.
Well, nomadic in quotation. It's not clear if they were nomadic or maybe just didn't have a home and were, like, Roma people or something. Just
they were roaming or nomadic, and then, like, they kind of settled in
Feather Hill.
Yeah,
but then the king ran foul of a ghoul, and a ghoul destroyed Feather Hill and the centered, and so there's a little bit of bitterness between.
So I think it's not that he doesn't like the Feather King or the Bird King. I think he's just like, because that guy did what he did, it fucked us over too.
It destroyed the
That's
center.
kind of that's kind of where.
And he also kind of blames it on the queen, right? He says it was the queen's decision to settle here, and that was the wrong decision or something like that. But he seems to have a lot of animosity towards the Bird King.
Yeah. So, and again, I think what's implied is, like, the centered queen and the Bird King probably had a romantic relationship, and they settled there. I think all of that's. I guess we'll see, but I do like the wording. Going to, like, Freedman's writing when he talks about a ghoul, and he, when he entered his life, and he goes, the second time was after he discovered how to summon the wraiths with black steel. Deep under the mountains, he found them, the dirty ones. They taught him dark magic. I just like that wording of, like, the dirt, like the dark gods or whatever, like the tainted.
There is a
magic,
we've never done this before, but I did pull a lot of the sketches and stuff from the back of the book. So if you guys want to talk about it a little bit at the end,
we do. Yeah, but we do see like wraith sketches and stuff, which actually look pretty cool. Yeah. I mean,
and the wraiths, the wraiths pretty much look like the Bird King with helmets on.
Also, a lot of earlier Bianca sketches, she looks kind of older.
Yeah, I don't know if like, again, her age is very, especially with the art style, it's very hard to pin down. I mean, like, but that being said, I don't know. I mean, maybe they were like, as they were designing the character, they might have been like, let's go younger. Let's make her more of a,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about it, because the rest of this issue slaps. The army people return, and the weapon exchange.
Yeah, it's like a regular soldier, an old man that's clearly like a higher up guy, Blondo, and the big. I don't know if he's a wraith. I mean, he must be.
No, he's just
the huge
champion
dude with the hat.
But I don't think
champion,
he is
but I mean, a ghoul.
I don't think he is a wraith.
And not a wraith in the
not one of the top
capital
wraiths.
W sense. I mean, like, is he an undead guy?
He might be undead, but I don't think he's one of the wraiths, like the official wraiths.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't think so either. He's not even. I don't think so. He's definitely not. I didn't mean wraith in that sense. I meant like an undead soldier.
But basically, the exchange is going through. Although they insult Big T.
It's the classic fantasy scene of, like, go inside, kid, and then the kid comes outside and goes like, "Fuck off! You're being mean to my master." Shit, It's the classic.
The young kid comes out to keep it real, and then it escalates. It's the typical.
Yeah, she's getting angry when Blondo's kicking shit around and is like, "There's nothing even special here. What does he even do? Fuck this old man," kind of thing. And he's like, "You better watch your shit. Don't you remember last time when you got knocked on your ass?"
I know, you'd think he would shut his fucking mouth.
He basically said, "That's where you're wrong, Young." Oh, that's his name, Young. There we go. Blondo's name is Young. Anyway, there's no one left alive who can craft wraith weapons. Thonir here is the last of his kind, kind of thing. And you know what? Honestly, aside from what he does in this fight, this old man is pretty respectful to Thonir.
Yeah.
Because of who he is and, like, what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so Young smack, I guess you got to smack a little girl. Why not? I guess you have.
Yeah, he started it. He pushed her
piece
first.
Of shit.
She basically comes out and she's like, but Master, he shows you no respect. He's a fool and should be punished. What has he ever done? You're the Hammer of the North, maker of wraith blades, the last centered. And they all just laugh, and he's like, "You think you're special because you helped this old man swing his hammer?" Fuck, man. Blondo.
But he knocks her into fire, which kind of burns vein scars into her, and then the evil people realize she is a centered.
Yeah.
As well.
well.
So we don't know. I mean, I don't know much about what the centered are or what that is or what the
Well,
deal is with that,
they
but,
can
like
smith
obviously they're
magical
magic,
weapons,
and
which
when
is
they
useful.
touch fire or something, like it scars them, and it just marks them as who they are, I suppose. So she was kind of like hiding under the radar before this, and then as soon as that happens, like first of all, they realize, oh, Thonir is now disposable because we have this kid that we could fully corrupt.
Yeah, we have a new
and
generation
to do whatever
of
we want. Yeah, we have a
center,
new generation. We have another last of the center, and he goes, and she's full blooded, kind of thing. But it's at that point that Thonir just goes hammer smashing, just immediately, like just doesn't even wait. He doesn't even like.
I like this first page of the fight where he grabs the hammer and swings it, and the champion just teleports.
Yeah, because he was about to crush
basically.
that Blondo's skull in. Yeah.
But the champion saves him. And then, shit just gets real. Like
it's
go
pretty
at it.
It's the choreography isn't like spectacular or anything, but I think there's a lot of energy in every panel, at least. There's not a lot of like through line in terms of like where people are and what their movements are, but in each panel the movements seem fun and interesting. I like how the fight works.
It kind of reminds me of Scott Pilgrim a little bit in a weird way.
Yeah, there's a little.
It was a little Scott Pilgrim-y, yeah. And the eye patch dude, I kind of respect it. I mean, I know he's evil, but I kind of respect that he sort of knows. Well, I'm probably not going to win a hand-to-hand fight, so I'm just going to stab him in the back.
Yeah.
And I just respect that self-awareness to know that I'm just going to use my rapier and just stab him in the back.
Patty, to the lettering art note, I guess, like Blondo says clack.
Clack.
This is the thing. But Thonir says duel because he's dual wielding hammers, and then the champion says ready, and then hers says payback, and it's not a sound effect at that point. It's almost like describing each moment. I'm like, I kind of like that. There, also, the same thing happened when he was slapping her around. Like he pushed her and it said small, and then she pushed him back and it said medium, and then he punched her and it said big.
Well, the best is when Bianca breaks the eye patch dude's arm, it just says pain.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
the sound effect is just
fucking
pain.
Great.
Yeah.
But
the way the old man died is like pretty brutal. So Bianca smashes his arm, like just smashes his arm.
Dude, she gets some good licks in, man. Like that. I have the panel up on screen, but when she uppercuts that guy with the hammer, fucking crushes him.
And then the old
the
guy,
art for some reason has two heads reeling backwards, like to show the movement. Yeah.
Well, I also like the going back to the lettering when she first hits the eye patch guy in the forearm and like breaks his arm. It says crack, and the crack has a bunch of cracks inside of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some good, and same with the shattering of the champion's sword.
Yeah,
There's some good shit there.
When Big T throws that fucking hammer at Blondie's face, oh my god!
I know.
Whoop truck, like getting hit in the face with the truck is basically.
Yeah, he gets rocked, like
knocked out
pretty hard.
Yeah.
But
so Big T's hurt bad, but is still alive. So he and Bianca head towards Feather Hill.
Well, to your point, Al, it says pain, and he's like, "You'll pay for this once I go." And like, while stabbed, Big T just swings his hammer backwards and crushes
smashes his face. Yeah, just smashes.
And I'm like,
and
the overshot of them like surrounded by all the bodies is just like, holy shit, dude.
I have to say,
brutal.
I've got to say, when the fight started, I did not think it would end with them. I didn't think they could take out these 5 dudes or whatever. It was really.
I thought Thorne could take them all out. I was shocked at how much she did. I was
he could have. I mean, if the sneaky dude hadn't stabbed him in the back, he would have been.
I mean, he would have been
fine. Yeah,
crushing them all. Yeah.
I gotta admit, I thought he was gonna live when it was like, oh, he's still alive. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. So they go to Feather Hill, and
this issue ends with them like retreating, essentially.
Right. And then in chapter 5, the expository text we get is the rarity of real magical weapons is equal to the rarity of magical makers. So this points to the importance of someone like Bianca, who's one of the last remaining magical smiths, is basically there's no magical weapons without magical smiths. So it kind of points to that.
They can't, aside from this sword that they've just repaired, like once these other race like break their weapons or whatever and don't continue to be wraiths anymore. Like they won't have any recourse but to look to her essentially for more of this.
All right, so chapter 5, they camp out basically right next to the Birdking in his court.
Yeah, she brings him to the place. I mean, like she brought him there on purpose, and she's like, "I know a place no one ever goes," kind of thing. So like that's where they're hiding out. Thorn kind of has a poisonous fever dream. Tells her a little bit more about and he's like, "We got to go to Atlas," and she's like, "Atlas." And he's like, "It's the only safe place left," kind of thing. The only place away from Agul and the Six Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bianca too at this point has those permanent gross vein scars all over her, which is sad.
That's true.
Gross.
It's not gross.
It's pretty gross.
Really?
I think it's pretty badass.
Pretty gross.
She's
that old dude. I mean, Big T is pretty
arcane
built.
blacksmith. Yeah, he's ripped.
He definitely registers on that Snyder Zoo scale.
I mean, he's been working out in his forge for a while.
I honestly feel like he just might just be genetically he does swing a giant hammer around all day for
like all day.
Years. And I do
you stay ripped.
Another point back to the writing. I like how, again, this is very sort of fairy tale-esque writing, but he says in the South it's different. In Atlas they have books and teachers and gold cups. There is food and medicine for the sick. It's a land of riches and resplendent light. So you can see that he's really selling this to Bianca as, this will be your salvation.
Yeah, and I think he's doing that because he knows he's dying. So I'm waiting for again, I haven't gotten that far in the story. So this isn't a spoiler or anything. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because I'm assuming it's going to be just as bad, but in a different way down there.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. I'm sure she'll get there.
100%.
There'll probably be like a hypocritical, corrupt pope or something ruling Atlas.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
It's going to be a bunch of
but you can see that.
assholes.
But the way Big T is describing it, you can see that kind of in her naive heart, Bianca's already internalizing this as my salvation is there. Like that is what will redefine my world and give me a place in the world. And to Joe's point, I think that's probably going to set her up for some rude awakenings when she actually gets to the South.
That's there's that vibe. Like I got that too. I'm like, there's no way it's going to be like that cut and dry as like, these are the good
Anyone
guys,
that's been sending as much people to fight in this war as this side of the mountains has for this long can't be good. Like, I don't like, unless they have tons of people that don't die, like, come on. Like, it's just as bad. It's going to be like a flip side of this coin, but just as bad, I assume.
And then, so Young survives and goes back to... So Agul lives straight up in a cemetery.
He lives like...
He doesn't live in like a castle or anything. Yeah, it's straight up a cemetery.
He does have a legion of Smurfs try to pull Blondo under the ground. Man, it's creepy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Agul's throne room, look at this. I love this. Just a giant bleeding eye and statues covering.
Where do you think? Do you think they are? How many people do you think they're sacrificing on a minute by minute basis to keep all that blood flowing down?
Oh, it's
or is it just really kick-ass red lighting?
I think they recycle. I think they pump it.
They're like a ghoul. It's done with all the red lights. It looks. It makes the watch just it's circular.
And
chocolate fountain.
Well, it's part of a weird tree. Maybe the tree is just siphoning the blood up and dripping it back down.
Maybe. But back to the Lord of the Rings Sauron references. You know how Sauron has that flame magic eye?
Yeah.
This is just a literal bleeding eyeball. It's pretty crazy.
Again, but I kind of like how they don't waste time on being like, he's a bad guy, kind of thing. Like they're just like, his name's a ghoul, literally a ghoul, and there's a giant eyeball of blood. Like it's pretty bad.
The first panel he's in is he's just poking out of the darkness.
Oh, I love
you
that.
Can see it.
It's great.
And he has like a what are those called? Like a shawl of skulls.
Yeah.
Around him, and his eyes, he just has a bandage where he's still bleeding through.
Yeah, I don't know.
His eye. It's insane.
So insane. I have no idea what's going on.
As well with him.
I do like how he's just like, as I have done for all the North and 6 kingdoms of man. And he's like, please, master, I can do it. I can give it the sword back. I've already sent out search parties. And Blondo's already getting grabbed and pulled underground. It's like great. Like he already has like ghouls just pulling him in. He's like, no, you cannot. but I do need someone who can, so you can do it. You know, kind of thing. And you're like, holy shit.
They can like see in the dark, but not in the light, right? Isn't that kind of the?
Well, that's just the triplets. The triplets of Belleville are the only
He's not
ones.
the
Oh
same
yeah, that's
role?
just the triplets
Agul?
of Bispin.
I know. I think a ghoul. I don't think it's that way. Specifically, they only bring it up in terms of the triplets.
I don't know. He might be like them with the way he sits back in the darkness like that all the time.
Well, but I
He
don't
just
think
doesn't have eyes, you know. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he
There's something
doesn't
about the
have
fact-
eyes, definitely, but I don't think it's ever explicitly said that he can only see. in the
No,
dark.
and it's not
I think
explicitly
it's
said, but
only
I can see
triplets.
I can see the correlation, I guess.
Unless he sees that giant bleeding eye above him, I guess. He does have a bushel of tongues, though. That was pretty
He does have a
interesting.
bushel of tongues, and they will tell you all you need to know.
A lightning bolt strikes the Feather Kingdom Tower
Well, one note about
the same
bushel
way
of-
it did in that drawing, is all I'm saying.
Drawing,
Yeah, and one note about the bushel of
Maybe
tongues
that's
I
why the
wanna make.
center are like settling there.
One art note is the bushel of tongues has speech bubbles. which
But
Yeah,
thought
I
was
love
great.
that, but they're not saying anything yet.
Yeah,
Or
but
not
I
to
thought
us.
that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome too. Just a weird little art note that you're like, that's funny. Make sure those random little squiggly tongues have speech bubbles that don't really say anything.
But
One
so
of them
the
even has a
Birdking
little
is,
tiny mark in it, like there's a tiny word in there that you can't hear. It's pretty cool.
and the Birdking is resurrected because the little bird flies into the hole, and then the magic sword floats up to him, and then lightning.
Well, the magic
strikes.
sword moved towards him before, so they were sleeping close enough to him to where the magic sword brought him back to life. Anyways, the bird was like a secondary thing, and I'm like, is that his soul? I guess, and that's why he's different from the other wraiths, you know, like kind of thing. Like
maybe
part
and then
of him
becomes
has,
the
like-
jewel. Becomes a jewel.
yeah, it becomes a jewel in his armor. That's gonna get broken.
What kind of jewel do you think that is? Red's garnet. Is there garnet? Is
Come
garnet the red gem? What do you think it is?
No,
Ruby?
Ruby.
Ruby.
It's a ruby jewel. Okay.
Wait, garnets are red too, I think.
I think they are
You're
also
right.
red. Maybe it's
Yeah, I
the
think you're
ruby.
right.
I don't know.
I'm trying to
Either way, it's
remember my
probably
Sailor
worth. It's
Moon.
large. It's probably worth a pretty penny. Pretty large.
Well, it's a dead king's wraith soul, so yeah, I'd assume it's.
And then Bianca runs away because, understandably,
Garnets are definitely red, Al. You're 100%.
I
right.
did think it was funny that she ran away and left Big T just laying there
Yeah.
dying. She's like, I'm out.
She goes, "What's
Well,
happening?"
Ghost
I love
Armor. Yeah, I mean,
I
Ghost
do
Armor
love
just
the
came to life.
page of the red gem solidifying, and it reminded me of like a Cyclops panel, but it's very small. But it's just like it makes a weird sound, and it's just red light shooting out from his chest, essentially. When the bird
The sound
flies
effect says back. He's
up.
back.
back kick.
Back.
But so Bianca
Um,
runs away because she's afraid, and she runs into a search party of
Yeah.
Agul's people. And then the Bird King does a little Naruto from above smash, kind of like in the Invasion of Pain arc,
does,
where he
yeah.
just smashes.
Yeah, I love
down
like
into them.
they're close by, obviously, because they're not that far away, but.
Well, it's just right there in
There
Feather
she is
Hill.
after her. Release the hound. They literally say release the hounds. It made me very happy. I don't know why. I loved it. Yeah,
Bark,
even the
bark.
dogs look like they're dead. Probably starved.
Well, the dogs, they're probably both dead and starved. Yeah.
Al, I
Yeah,
wrote like I love when he starts fighting because he slices that dude and it's like Fist of
Oh,
the
yeah.
North Star because it's just a line and then like the next the next panel
Head
is
all
just his body
splitting
starting
apart.
to separate and then blood starts spurting out. And the other three dudes are
Yeah.
just like holding their swords like, oh shit. Like, just hold my sword up in front of me. It's pretty
And so the other cool thing is you don't really see him kill everybody because Bianca runs away. I mean, you see him in the background and like heads are flying
awesome.
in this panel in the background. So she runs back into the castle.
Yeah.
And in the way background, you just see heads flying as the Bird King is
He's
fighting
heads
people.
off.
He's just lopping heads off. And she runs back, and this is where she finds out that we lost Big T.
Yeah, Thorns died in this. Well, over since the nighttime, I suppose. So he was probably dead already.
The sword
Do
was
you think it was
poisoned.
his death that reignited the sword? Maybe he
No, I
died in
think
that
he was
moment.
still.
He
Like
was
he
still
was still
shivering when
alive.
the sword moved. Yeah, he was still shivering.
Was he?
It
Yeah,
said
he
shiver,
was-
shiver, and then the sword moves. Yeah.
Maybe that was his death rattle, though.
That may have been his death.
Because the
rattle.
next panel is the sword moving. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, because there's
Well,
a
there
part at
was-
the end of this, and this is the only reason I'm going to hit home in this point. There's a part right at the end when she runs, like she's crying, and then she runs away again because he's right. The Bird King is right behind her, and she screams, and she's like, "Don't touch me, you monster! I'll smash you to bits!" And then he just puts his hand on Thonir. Maybe he's putting his hand on his own body
himself.
Is he
might
in
be?
No,
He might
so
be
the Bird
King.
King clearly knew Big T based on
Either
Big
he
T's
knew him, or
tales,
that's what
so
I'm
he
saying.
knew him.
I'm going one step beyond what's on the page, because one step on the page is he knew him at some point. What I'm saying is maybe part of him is in there.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right.
Also, there was
We'll
the
see at
deleted.
the end of the story how they haven't written it yet.
Well, also, Joe,
You're gonna
there
hear
was
this podcast and be like, "That's a great idea. We're gonna add some Thonir into the Bird King."
there was a deleted scene where after she runs out of the room, the Bird King stands up and walks forward and steps on Thorin by accident.
Just crushes his
and
head.
it kills him, and that's what kills him.
Crushes his head.
But you know, because of time, it didn't make it past the cutting room
I
floor.
do like the end of this though. She's just like, when she turns, first she's freaking out because she's scared again, but then she's like, "And I'll smash you to bits." And then she sees him put his hand on Thonir, and then she's like, "Oh, did you know him? His name was, Thonir, the Hammer of the North." And he's like, and then immediately she goes, "Will you help me bury him?" Like, there's this like, even though all this shit's happened, she still has that like naivete, like that childlike innocence to her that it's so endearing. Especially when you have a giant, ominous, like silent character, and she just doesn't stop talking.
Well, this goes back to earlier. We talked about how he's cute, giant, and this goes back to at the same time as he's tender and touches her shoulder and helps her bury the guy. He's also a giant hulking armor that lops heads off. So it goes back to that kind of duality that he shows. All right, but then let's go. So chapter 6, the expository text there, we get a little info about the kingdom of Bispin with their near constant shades, where their priests and pontiffs lay low in darkness, communing with the Umbra, fortifying their dark magic for purposes not only to them and the Savior.
Where is Bispin? I need the map.
The map.
Bispin is right south of Feather Hill.
Okay.
Is that a marijuana leaf?
Marijuana.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're getting real high in Bispin, dude. Have you seen those? Have you seen those triplets?
They're blazing, bro. Those triplets are high as kites. All right, so they bury Big T, and we do get like a lot of kind of cutesy back and forth with Bianca, where basically she just kind of talks at Bird King a lot. It's kind of like, hey, what do you think? Oh, okay, you agree, let's do this. It's just very cutesy, kind of just talking at him.
This is my favorite part about it, though. She goes, "Well, thanks for saving my life. I need to get going. See you later." And she just leaves. She's
like, "You can keep the magic sword. Whatever."
Yeah, she's like, "All right, see you later. I gotta go. Have fun with your sword." I just thought it was a hilarious scene. You can keep the sword, I guess.
And she goes off on her horse Hammer. Remember that name?
Oh man,
horsey.
Don't get too attached.
What was it, Trey?
Unlike Artax, this horse will not be
Artax
around.
Artax.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Young goes to ring this creepy tree bell. No, it's a church.
Yeah.
It's a creepy church in the trees bell to summon the triplets. The triplets come out hot, man. They come at you with their scythe chains.
Yeah, real fast.
Is that how they? What if you're just there to say hi? Like they just come at you. What is that about?
Dark magic.
They want to know what his oblation is. Where's your oblation? If he brought an oblation with him, he wouldn't have had this problem.
I mean, he did. There's a sack of tongues. A bushel of tongues. My bad.
A bushel of tongues.
I do like how they just say, you're going to be our eyes because we can't see the light, and they just chain him up and drag him with them. Yeah, they just drag him with them.
It's almost what's that called? The old mask to
the plague
gas
mask
kind of type thing. Plague mask. Thank you.
But isn't it really reminiscent of the idols that are in the Flatlands underground?
It is kind of like that underground. Yeah. So I was kind of wondering about that because maybe these are corrupted versions of that, or their masks are referring to those creatures or whatever those were. Yeah. But like,
it's also
I was wondering about that.
A lot of this aesthetically is very From Software Dark Souls universe. Like this is very Dark Souls 3. These triplets are. I know y'all never played those games, but there's just a lot of this is very Dark Souls coded. So I think CROM probably was a fan of those games because there's a lot
Very
in
possibly.
here. The tree.
I like how he's like, I need you. Blondo goes, I need you now. I need none. Now release me. You have your task. He's like, no offering? Then ye will be our eyes in the light where we cannot see. Now come. And he's like, nah! And he gets sucked into the hole. And I'm like, God damn.
But this,
I don't
this
feel
whole
sorry
area,
for Blondo because I hate him, but it's okay.
But this whole area with the giant trees surrounding this church with a bell in it, it's all very Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
Super Dark Souls. So I think.
So we get a little touching
There's
scene where
fans.
Hammer the horse senses the Birdking is nearby.
kinda
And she's
funny.
like, you hear something? And she's like, oh, you followed me. I thought ghosts couldn't leave their castles. Why are you here? She's immediately like, why are you here, man? I don't need you. And she's like, what do you want from me? You can't talk, can you? And she's like, well, I talk a lot, so I guess that works out. If you're going to follow me, you should know I'm going all the way to Atlas, but maybe with your help, I'll actually make it. And then he reaches out and shakes his giant hand. Engulfs hers and they shake hands. It's fucking adorable.
It is.
All right,
And they shake
Birdking,
hands.
let's go to Atlas.
That fucking that dumb again, the way the words are mixed with the art, that's a phenomenal page. I just love. Let's go to Atlas. All right, Birdking.
Well, this is for the series, or at least volume 1. That's the hero shot right there. You know, the bird.
Yeah, that's
Bianca ready to
100%.
go.
I mean, there's, I think it's in the sketches, but I think they thought that was going to be the cover, but then they were like, "Oh no, that's better as that panel. Let's do a different cover or whatever." If I'm not mistaken, briefly flipping to the sketches and stuff, but anyway, I just love that. That's good. This is also going to easily be the end of this volume, but we have one more little chapter, and I kind of like that they got a little further into the adventure because it seems like a better breaking.
I want to, of all these little intro pages, chapter 7 is my favorite. So the image is the burning tower inside the trunk of a tree, which is pretty cool. And then chapter 7 is when the rider was finally pulled from his horse, he expected to break a bone in the fall, but instead he passed through the ground into the very shadow of his passing steed. Inside the dark, he found nothing but the abyssal void. While he remained whole, he could not see, nor taste, nor feel. He floated like a stone in water, straight down an endless sea. That's just such a cool image and I don't know what it fits into, but
it feels like it's referring to all the souls that a ghoul can call to fight for him. That's the limbo they're in while he's ready to pull.
And this is also
service at any time.
Another thing, these little chapter intros are also very Dark Souls because in that game, basically, anytime you get equipment, or it has this kind of poetic, almost mythical description of the item and who used it and things like that, and it feeds into the lore of the game. And these little intro, it's straight out of Dark Souls how they do it in these intros. So in
Chapter
this,
7.
we start out chapter 7. They walk by
We're
a
all
village
crazy.
and just see an everyday child sacrifice.
Yeah.
Just,
Totally normal.
normal
there's other
run-of-the-mill-
things for tribute. There's a chicken and some food.
a ghoul bleeds
And a
for
baby.
thee.
One family gave a chicken, one family gave some rice, and one family gave some grain.
Yeah, but
and
the guy
other
that gave the
family
baby got
gave
blessed
the
with the
baby.
symbol of a ghoul on his head and blood.
One guy gave
You
a
know?
pumpkin.
And Bianca has the line here that kind of going back to the earlier note we made about is Atlas so great? Everyone acts like a ghoul saved them from Atlas, but Thonir said Atlas is the city of light and riches. If that's true, then what is the ghoul saving us from? And not that, obviously a ghoul is also evil, but again, this hints to maybe Atlas also isn't wonderful, given those dynamics.
A ghoul started
I
off
li-
as a man and became this demon. So, did
this
he make
corrupted.
a deal with the devil to fight off a, more powerful enemy? I don't know.
We'll see.
Who knows? We'll find out.
I wasn't being facetious. I don't know yet.
Yeah, did Donald Trump make a deal with Epstein to fight off Epstein from the inside?
Yeah, very possibly.
These are the questions we should be asking.
I like how she just goes, All right, let's keep moving. That last thing we want is to get sacrificed by those Bispian worshippers for their priest. Like she's just like, yeah, those guys are crazy. Let's walk through the woods this way.
Another thing I loved is in their little night camp, she sets out her little study desk with her map and her books all set up very neatly
Yeah, it's awesome.
as she's reading them.
Yeah,
I thought it
she
was
got a
very
little
cute.
little tent, a little map set out, and all a little campfire. Again, this is another kind of traveling montage. There's a panel of them walking in daylight through the trees, but only the background changes and her talking changes. But it's nighttime. You know, it's just like they've just been walking for days.
Quick fire question: how do you feel about her sleeping inside his crotch?
I mean, she's
That's
at his
nothing
feet.
bad.
Is that appropriate?
He's far
An
away.
empty,
His crotch is very far away from her.
She's very protected.
right under the shade of his like loin armor.
I think she's under the shade of his leg.
He's a skeleton.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure we're
He's
okay
a
with. I just wanted to
skeleton.
make sure it was appropriate for that. Okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Have
And
you
now
tried-
we get the kind of action climax of the volume in chapter 7, the triplets attack.
Mm-hmm.
And Hammer, poor Hammer. I mean Hammer. Oh,
I wasn't
I'm
ready.
so-
I was not
I was
ready
not
for this.
ready for that. No.
Hammer
No
gets.
fucking way did that just happen.
Listeners, if you haven't read this, I don't think you understand. Hammer gets ripped to shreds.
The
poor horse-
triplets throw their little sickle chains out. It gets the horse. She falls off the horse, and the next panel is just the horse being split
It
into
is
3 sections.
Dismembered. Yeah, it's you don't come back from that.
I do like how they
No.
immediately try to chain up the sword, and then he just pulls one of them out immediately, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's not gonna work."
Well, but it
He's
is
about
on
to
their
kill
on the
one of them.
triplets part. It was good strategy on the triplets.
It was good
gotta
strategy,
say.
but like, it's not until they grab him and the sword separately and pull from 2 different sides that it actually works. But like, I like how one of them's trying to get away, and she just again immediately starts wailing. On
Oh, she's
these-
pissed.
on one of
Yeah.
Well,
these
she
triplets. Yeah, she's
she
like-
wails its leg off. She just
Yeah,
beats the
but she
shit
doesn't
out of
stop
it.
with the leg. She keeps
They
going.
just killed her horse. Brutally
I
killed
lo-
her.
My favorite
It's a
part
pile
was
of mush when she's done.
my favorite part was Young draws the sword and runs at Bianca, and it's just a panel of
Yeah.
Birdking's hand grabbing the
Yes,
scruff of his
that was-
neck and just flips him.
See, this
It
is the
reminded
part
me
where
of,
Young stops being like a true enemy and starts becoming like comedy relief. But it's still
That-
great. I love it.
That beat reminded me of Superman for All Seasons when Clark grabs the Lex Luthor guy when he's doing the
Oh,
fire.
yeah.
Like, get out of the way.
Chucks him away. I do love
And
that,
we
though.
do, and also, so they separate.
By the way,
Birdking from
while
the
that
horde.
happens, Bianca's still hammering away at one of the
She's
triplets.
going
Oh,
nuts.
she's still going. Yeah. Look at that. You can see it. That leg is just,
It's
she's
just
just smashed
it's
it off
mush.
completely. It's
The only thing that stopped her from continuing to murder is when one of the other triplets
the
comes
other
out and
one.
just swipes at her from the shadow.
and the other cool dimension to the fight is again the triplets can't see out of the dark, so they're just kind of slashing from the shadows. Like they'll just
Yeah,
poke
they're
out
just like
from the
Right,
shadows.
swiping out into the light. Yeah.
And at this point, they do separate Birdking from his sword, and the flame turns off.
The
Because the
flame
sword
extinguishes.
was the
But here's the
Birdking.
thing, like about this, and it's interesting because obviously they're going to keep coming into play, which I don't know if I like or hate this. You can't have him there as a powerhouse that just solves all the problems all the time. So I get he has some sort of weakness, but like being separated from the sword and he turns off like a robot, I'm just like, how often is this going to happen?
Yeah.
That being said, he doesn't get closer to the sword. Like she grabs the sword
He's
and she
moves to
calls
it.
out for
Yeah,
him.
he stomps
And
on it
he-
and picks up the
And
sword.
he comes back. Like it's her calling out to him that brings him back.
Well, he maybe
and I'm
had
not-
a little smoke left. You know, he had a little bit of smoke
Maybe.
left in that skull.
don't
and
know.
he did it.
Yeah, he wasn't like maybe fully out. I don't
Uh,
know. It's
and
an
then-
interesting thing to pick apart as the volumes progress.
There's
is what I'm saying.
another
Like,
great
I'm
moment.
interested to see if it's like literally proximity to the sword, or it's like maybe some sort of tie he has with her. Maybe
Could
there's
be,
a little
yeah.
Thonir in him.
Little, maybe
No.
There's a,
like a 10%.
Like
There's
like a
a cool-
5%.
There's a cool exchange where he stomps on the chain, gets his sword back, yanks the chain, and slams the twin into a tree,
yeah.
and then
Yes.
cuts both the triplet and the tree in half.
And the tree in half. Yeah.
And
Yep.
here's the panel. Like he
It's
cuts
fantastic.
it all. It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful. Violent but wonderful.
And even still, they grab her at that point, and she starts to get pulled into the darkness. And the best part is, like, for 1 second I was like, what just happened? Because, like, he stabs into the darkness and blood splatters onto her face, and I was like, did she just get hurt? And I was like, oh wait, no, that's just blood. That's dog's blood. Don't worry about that. That's just triplets of Bispian blood.
Triplets of Belleville. Yeah, they're all dead.
Don't worry about that. But yeah, that was awesome. And then after they're all dead. And she comes out of the dark. She just goes, still one left. And it's Blondo. And he's just like, don't kill me. Don't kill me. And then she's like,
no, he's like, kill me.
And he's like, please kill me. Please kill me.
Yeah. Well, because he says basically, he says it's failing a ghoul is I'd rather just die.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. I'm dead anyway. Yeah. You, him, a ghoul. You want to smash in my head? Go ahead. Just anyone but a ghoul. And he said, make it quick, please. But when she doesn't, he goes, you must. I can't go back empty-handed. Please, just kill me. Like at that point, he's like freaking out, like because she decides not to kill him.
And she's like, "Do yourself, you wuss."
And again, I love the touching moment that she takes to fucking mourn her horse. I like that the story doesn't just like adventure and move on.
Yeah.
Like they take these beats, these story beats, to like this is a human being that has a reaction to her horse getting murdered in front of her. Like she's upset. And she like literally goes, I'm sorry, Hammer. I'm so sorry any of this happened. And she's all sad, and he puts his giant gauntleted hand on her shoulder.
That's true, and it's very touching, but it also kind of sounds like the CEO letter where he lays off 10% of the workforce. Like, I'm so sorry any of this happened, but we have to do it. You know, it is touching, but it also reading it, part of me is kind of like, well, I don't know.
The last page of the book is he becomes her horse, and he picks her up in his giant gloved hand and her little body, and then weirdly enough, Blondo's just hanging out in a tree.
He's really in the trees. How did he get up there? Did they throw him up there? How did he get up there?
I don't know. It's so random. I loved it. No, they left him. They walk off, and he's on the ground. So the next scene is him just like in the trees, creeping out of the bushes, and I fucking love it. It's like,
I don't know. I think it's
there's a million ways to draw that. He could have been peeking out from behind a tree on the ground still, like that would have made sense. But they decided to put him up in a tree, and I'm just like, I don't know why, but that's hilarious.
No, but I think I think what's implied is the Birdking tossed him up.
Did he? No, they're walking. They're physically walking away. They're leaving him away. He's like,
after
having, you know what it's like to have serve him. I never got a choice, and they walk off.
I think it's because they kept yelling and being annoying, and Birdking tossed him up.
Birdking was just like, "Fuck, get out of here."
Yeah.
All right, I like that idea. That would make sense. That would make sense.
Stuck and forlorn up there. Yeah,
it's just funny.
Stuck.
But that's the end of volume 1.
It is. Do you guys want to do a weird? Do you want to analyze some back pages?
That's the
We haven't done this before. This is a new thing.
Let's analyze the back pages of the trade paperback and talk about artist sketches.
All right.
Artist sketches.
This is the first page. They give us a map. So I like these sketches. These were cool, showing like the progression of his art process. I like watching stuff like this, so that's extremely interesting.
And right, and we do see. Okay, well, we're not at that part yet, but right, Bianca looks a little bit older. I think that's supposed to be her friend. Her friend Amila is supposed to be.
Yeah, she looks way older there. She looks like she's like in her 30s or something.
What, in this picture?
That's not 30. That's maybe 20, early 20, college age.
They give us this page that's just like sketches of the Birdking in the actual bird form.
I like this. The sketches of her friend Amila are pretty cool. Like they look pretty different. They're pretty interesting.
Yeah,
these were cool. I liked this page with just like.
I do like the way.
You know what? Honestly, you don't.
I do. I like the way cape hangs.
I do too, as well. So I was like, "Oh, you don't like that? I like that."
I like the big T with the kind of muff neck thing, like the cloak, the fur cloak.
Yeah.
You're getting so far ahead of me. I've got every sketch page on here, Al.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just moving to the
Master Thonir looks. Cool, I mean, he looks how he looks in the book. If anything, he looks smaller than he looks in the book in this initial character design page. Yeah. So here's some of the sketches. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Is that the? That's literally somebody slumping off of a horse while dead people are pulling them underground.
Yes, that is.
Is that like literally that passage we read?
Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
think maybe that's or maybe that's just a deleted scene, kind of as unrelated.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I like the
I don't know if
images of her.
it's that
with,
much. It is older a little, but not.
But
Sometimes
I like
with sketches, you take more time with a sketch than you do with like the rest of the book. So sometimes your sketches have a little more work put behind them, and maybe that's all it is. It's just like a little added detail makes her a little young, older.
I do like the design of her tool backpack that's just stuffed with tools and stuff. I thought that was
is cool. Yeah, that's cool.
The Wraith pages are kind of interesting. Like those are all pretty fun.
Yeah, that helmet at the top left of the Wraith page, that's awesome. Those look like the race that were kind of like, those are kind of like I was saying, general race that were like in his army. The ones that were like sweeping behind the banner earlier. And then we get the champion there, a Ghoul's champion. I wonder what that means. Like, where's the champion and a Wraith fall?
Well, he's got to be under a Wraith, definitely, right?
Yeah, gotta.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like he's a fill-in because the real Wraith of Adurin or whatever is out of commission, so he's just kind of like a fill-in number one, maybe. And also, there's good sketches of young Agul and Agul, the all-seeing weeping eyes.
Yes, the all-seeing weeping eyes.
Look at this sketch of on the screen right now of the centered. That crazy mask and the fire arcane hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
And back to more Hobbit, Lord of the Rings references. In The Hobbit, they reference a necromancer who ends up being what Sauron is in the Lord of the Rings. So the same way here, young Agul is the necromancer of the North, and then becomes Agul, the all-seeing weeping eyes. So it's very Sauron.
Very Sauron coded.
Interesting. Look at this sketch at the top on the right page, but it says, I'm sorry, top left, but it says young, but that's his name, and it says necromancer. That's interesting. Why is his name attached to Agul? I wonder if that means anything later.
I think maybe they misspelled young.
Maybe? They put Savior Young Agul on the next. Oh, you're right. Maybe they just maybe they just called Blondo Young later just to call back to that.
Yeah. Also, his name is Young with a J, I think, right?
No, it's just Young. Y-U-N-G.
No, just Young. Y-U-N-G. Maybe it's just a nickname. Young, like young. He's the youngest in the court or whatever. So maybe that's just a title.
Rest of this is just. Yeah, for me, oh, that's true. He did say he was the youngest in the court, Patty. I mean, for me, I love just seeing the thumbnail breakdowns. That's really cool to me. There's a full breakdown of like script to thumbnail to sketch to inked page to colored page to lettered page. I mean, like that was really cool too. I like that a lot. That's really fascinating. I like for instance, the one page that has like the red sketch with the blue sketch over it kind of thing of like, let's shift her position slightly.
Yep,
I like seeing that art process stuff. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So to anybody listening on a podcast, I apologize for the last 10 minutes because you didn't get much. You didn't get much out of that.
Al, this might be news to everybody, but we talk about art on this podcast all the time without having any reference to what we're doing. Anyway, yeah, you're right. We've never done that before. I was just like, there's a lot of fun stuff back here. We should probably take some time to kind of like show some stuff like that more often.
Oh, also, real quick, do you guys, I don't know if it's my audio or yours, but do you hear that?
Yours is always messed up. Do you need to fix the Mobius Couch dials?
Do you hear that? Let me turn up the volume. Do you hear that? Does this pass the Bechdel test? The Bechdel test. The Bechdel test. Does it pass the Bechdel test? The answer's probably no.
No.
This one's a no.
This one is 100% yes. You're wrong. It 100% does.
It kind of does. I don't.
The Amelia scene doesn't
it just does.
count.
Just plain
They're
does.
Surrounded by men.
Is that part of the rule though? Like, is it literally like if a man?
It's two women in a scene on their own with a bunch of faceless shapes moving behind them. Might as well be a wall. And they talk about her going to war and say goodbye to each other and how much they love each other. Shut the fuck up.
I think it passes the spirit. It passes the spirit of the text.
I don't know if that can. I don't know if that counts.
I think that 100% counts.
Let me look at. Let me Wikipedia the Bechdel test.
Let's Wikipedia this test that we've been doing for the last 79 episodes.
Let's get down to the rules of the test that we've been talking about for 80 episodes.
Okay, it does pass. At least 2 women who have a conversation about something other than a man. So this passes. Yeah. It doesn't say they have to be alone. Okay. Glad we Wikipedia it.
I feel like we've analyzed so many.
Me and Patrick have argued on that point so many fucking times. I feel like there's times where we haven't passed something because you're so adamant that other people are in the goddamn room.
Well, I
need to change everything.
I do think that in a 200-page volume, 3 panels where that happens doesn't really mean there was great representation of female voice.
I don't think so either. But in a story where everyone's slaughtered every 5 seconds, and there's one main female character, and she has one female friend, and they have a meaningful conversation, I feel like that's a decent amount of a Bechdel test.
I think we can all do a little better.
She's surrounded by a wraith ghoul and an old man for the rest of the story. She has one interaction with somebody, and it's another woman. I think it works.
All right.
Did you guys read the bios in the back? Daniel Freedman. For the great sin of transgression, Daniel was exiled from service and sent to life in the lowest dungeon. To this day, his captors had failed to notice the man that occupies his cell is actually the one who passed judgment on him. That's his bio in the back. CROM. A lost prince to a forgotten throne, CROM bides his time studying grimoires, tomes, and scrolls, mining for unremembered arts of his kind until his ascension can be had. His relation to the god of steel can neither be confirmed or denied.
Okay, so it is the Conan. Yeah, it is the Conan reference. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but yeah, I really love other bios are ridiculous.
Did you guys watch the Saturday morning cartoon version of Conan the Barbarian?
I did, yeah,
no.
back in the day.
It was good.
Well,
stuff.
Lots of snake people.
I watched every
There's
Saturday
the phoenix that could come out of his shield.
No. Yep. All right, should we do recommendation? Let's
recommendations for Birdking. What do you got?
I'll just go first because I recommend it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I've already ordered volume 2 from the library. I'm excited to read more about it. I thought it was just a fun, pretty simple fairy tale-ish adventure sort of book. If you're into dark fantasy things, why not read Birdking? Recommend.
Yeah. Okay.
I also recommend it just specifically because I'm also going to continue reading it because it does hook you. It hooks you pretty fast, and it's an easy read, and it's beautiful art, and it's fun. So yeah, recommend.
Yeah, 100% recommend this. I really like. I don't know if I love. I mean, I'm not knocking Daniel Freedman, but I don't know if I love the writing. It's just simple storytelling. There's nothing like overly smashing me.
Definitely follows the formula. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like how the art is simple. Yet, I mean, there's a lot of dynamic angles. The figures are. I don't know. There's a lot of expression in the figures and the way they're drawn and movement, so it's not just, although they're like I was saying it earlier with the fight scenes, there's a lot of like dynamic poses within the panels, even though there's not a lot of choreography between panels. There's a lot of like you can see what happened between panels just in the panel itself. And I kind of love the pastel combined with muted color palette. Like it's kind of a fun.
Yeah,
especially with like the blue flame of the Birdking once he starts hanging out, like you're like, that's amazing against every background. So there's just some fun stuff with the art that really the punchiness of like the pastels mixed with like the dreariness of everything else is really fun. But yeah, totally recommend it. It's a fun story. I've already read volume 2. I liked that as well. Well, who knows if we'll ever cover that on this podcast, but like most of the time we try to dip our toes into a story and then we move on. But like, yeah, I'm definitely going to read the rest of this as it comes out. Totally fun. Good book. Recommend.
Good stuff.
All right. I think we did it. That was Birdking Volume 1.
I think we won comics for the week.
All right. Good journey, Couchers.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So long. Farewell.